Top 10 worst games of 2024. Here are the worst games of the year. Usually I go by score, not doing as much writing. So anyways, diving in, talking about the bad games of the year, the games that I played that just aren't very good. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. We start this list off with Dragon Age: The Veilguard. This is a game that really should have been good. I mean, it's Dragon Age. It's a pretty legendary series. It's one that a lot of people love, and they just went kinda weird with it. From the writing, to the weak repetitiveness of the narrative, to some of the characters, to the motivations, to the way they handled the story, to the way they handled the end of the story. It's just like a little bit of a mess everywhere. And a pretty easy one to include in this top 10 list as number 10. Here we have number 9, which is A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. The concept of this game is a lot more interesting than the game itself. You just literally slowly tiptoe through just like the most ridiculous of scenarios with a character that should have zero chance of any sort of survival in the slightest, dealing with absolutely ridiculous moments, this weird pitchy sound that burns out your eardrums, which for whatever reason I've decided to film and include in this part. It's just boring, tedious, feels like it never ends. The AI just somehow randomly finds you or stumbles upon you all the time. It's just not a great experience. It's not very visually impressive, the gameplay's not very impressive, and it was just an awful experience sitting there and streaming through it. I genuinely did not like that game at all. Just like I didn't love Dustborn, number 8. So this game is quite something. It's just like, I think maybe there's something okay here, but like it's so boring. It's really genuinely mundane, with characters that are just annoying and gameplay mechanics that just are kind of a little cringe-inducing, I would say. I get what they were going for, a little bit of a comic book sort of road trip thing, but just the premise, the design, the execution of it, the way the characters talk and interact with each other, it's just really genuinely bad. It was, yeah, I did not like what I played of this one, or at best it was really incredibly mundane and uninteresting. But the real disappointment was number 7, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. The proud return of Test Drive, and this is what we got. A game where it's just not very good looking, feels incredibly dated, was incredibly buggy, was, using that word again, incredibly grindy. I don't really know what they were thinking with the release of this one. I was actually pretty excited for Test Drive to come back. I remember enjoying it in the 360 era, and I think some of the core fundamentals were there, but like even like the social features are really missing still, and a lot of the content that made the Test Drive series so interesting and intriguing just is gone. It feels like a heartless kind of cash grab, or maybe the devs were just punching way too above what they could possibly deliver. Racing games have advanced a lot, and this game feels like it's generations behind, which is terrible. Just like the generations behind experience you get with South Park Snow Day at number 6. This was just really awkward. It's kind of like a really strange hack and slash kind of thing with a bit of a story thing, and I really don't know what to even say about this one. It just isn't very good. Maybe the idea was okay, but I remember just kind of whipping through this and being like, oh, alright. I mean, it's South Park, I suppose, and you know, you're doing your snow day thing, and it's kind of a hack and slash, and some different abilities. It's pretty forgettable. I would imagine a lot of the people watching this that did play this game probably forgot about it. You know, I actually had to really do some soul searching and thinking when compiling this list. Actually, this was one of the easiest top 10 worst games lists that I've ever done, honestly. But yeah, this one wasn't very good. Just like Skull and Bones at number 5, so bad that literally somehow the audio didn't capture through my capture card for this clip, which is even funnier. This is the quadruple A gaming experience. I don't even know what to say. Like, you take Assassin's Creed Black Flag and you make a game focused on the ship's element, but you take all the fun stuff away from Black Flag, like, you know, doing piracy or really boarding or going out on shore and doing pirate things. You just kind of go around on ships aimlessly. Yeah, and then the seas of FSR on console. Oh, jeez, this just wasn't very fun. It was incredibly mundane and boring. I know they were contractually obligated with, like, the government of Singapore to get this one out the door due to whatever dealings, but oh, what a mess this one is. At least it survived, I guess. Just like we didn't see this one really survive. Number 4, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. What a waste of talent. I don't even know what they were thinking with this game. It's kind of at best incredibly okay. I guess what really makes this the worst is just the amount of money this wasted. And again, talent. Like, I can't believe that this game came out the door like it did. The insulting elements to, like, certain well-loved DC characters, the gameplay design. I think they thought they had some kind of masterpiece live service thing here in the waiting, and what a bit of a joke, haha, with Harley Quinn there. This game was. I mean, the story, it's playable, I guess. It's just anything else in this game just really doesn't hit the mark. I would say it's probably going to be one of the most forgettable games out there in the long term, for sure. Terrible experience. And here's a game, number 3, The Inquisitor. This is a game I actually genuinely believe that at its core, there's something here with this concept. It's based on this series where you're Jesus' Witcher. I'm not even kidding here. You get divine signs from Jesus about going out and figuring out what's happening in this area. It's just the performance is bad, the gameplay is bad, the performances are bad, the character animations, the quality of the world, the bugs. Like, it's decently lengthy, and the game is kind of insane. Like, the story and stuff is kind of neat. The supernatural elements, the concept of taking the Witcher and you're Jesus' Witcher. There's something there. But wow, this game is really, really bad. Same like Foam Stars, which is dead. This game I really didn't think was anything special. I don't know why people were actually kind of into this one. I was surprised when I did my initial review thing of it. I was just like, this is not a very fun or interesting or engaging game. The foam technology, fantastic, but like the matches, it took longer to find a match than to like even play a match, and the matches were done in seconds, and it just seemed utterly pointless. Yeah, it's flashy, yeah, it's colorful, yeah, it's like neat, I guess, but it just wasn't very fun. I think the best part of this experience was the seconds you spent doing a DJ thing on top of something that was moving. That's about as much as I can remember of this. It just didn't play well, the gameplay wasn't interesting, the game modes weren't intriguing, and you can see why this game just absolutely spectacularly failed, and just vanished into oblivion as it'll be shut off and vanish forever into the ether of gaming. Just like this next one, maybe not necessarily the worst scored, but Concord at number 1. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars in loss. Concord was a colossal failure for PlayStation. A huge mark that I think has made tons of companies completely rethink their strategies, investments, and looks at live service, and in gaming in general. Concord was a colossal failure, with very aesthetically displeasing and uninteresting characters, bad gunplay, bad movement. It's just bizarre and puzzling that this sort of thing even existed. A worthy number 1 of being the worst game of 2024. I don't think any game on this list really comes close to the spectacular and colossal failure that Concord was. It really did deliver a Concordian amount of ideas, laughs, and jokes that will continue for gaming forever. Top 10 worst games, like the video, subscribing's great as well.